This is Powerball. Good evening, America. I'm Laura Johnson. Tonight we have another life-changing jackpot for you. It's worth an estimated $341.6 million. So get those tickets out. Let's play. That first number up is 20. Followed by the number 3. Tonight we're going to meet Alonza Flynn, who won $100,000 playing Powerball. Congratulations, Alonza. Now for the rest of those numbers, we've got 42, 36, rounding it out with 64. Your Powerball number tonight, good luck everyone, is 4, and your Power Play multiplier is 2. Let's take a look at those numbers one last time. Remember, there are multiple ways to win. We'll see you back here Saturday night. Good night, everyone.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12, NBC 26 at 11.
Pet owners concerned about a lack of emergency care. There is a gap in Augusta that has people driving an hour away for that kind of veterinary service. But first, a scary scene this afternoon in South Georgia where there was a tornado on the ground. This was
up in the full forecast.
Anthony, thank you. In any emergency situation, you want to get to the nearest ER as soon as possible. And the same holds true for your pet. In Augusta, there's only one 24/7 emergency animal clinic, but it's only open 24 hours on certain days. Sydney Hood spoke with one woman who had to take her pet to Columbia for that emergency care. And Sydney, she's not the only one.
She's not, and it's confirmed here on this post Lydia Pierce made on Nextdoor less than a week ago. She's calling on pet lovers to bring in their ideas for a 24/7 emergency animal care clinic here in the area. And a lot of these comments are agreeing with her. You've got this one right here saying they had to make 4 trips to Columbia just to get their dog care. And the goal of this meeting, she tells me, is to get a general idea of where to start.
This is our only little man. That's Sky.
He's like any other pup. Playful, happy, and seeks attention.
Want to get up here with your mama?
3 weeks ago, these playful moments were almost no more.
Little Sky here ate a nut from a sago palm. And well, he didn't even eat the whole thing. He just ate a little piece of it. By the time that happened, all the vets had already closed.
Leaving Sky to travel more than an hour to get that life-saving care.
I wasn't even able to drive because I was so upset. The minute we walked in, they took him to the back.
Then the waiting began.
When the doctor came out and said that I just want you to know he's got a 50-50 chance of surviving. He might not make it. Did you see me with your mama?
Sky's lucky to be alive.
If we would have had to go farther than we did, I don't know whether he'd be here or not, but if we would have had a local availability, we wouldn't have had to speak to Columbia.
It was the wake-up call Sky's owner needed.
We're asking for ideas of how to go about to get this started.
Calling to the community for a solution.
But if it works in Columbia, why can't it work in Augusta? We want input, suggestions of how to go about this and make it happen.
Now, Tuesday's meeting is at the Stratford Clubhouse off of Aylesbury Drive in Evans. It starts at 7, and everyone's welcome to attend.
It does sound like a problem, but what are local vets telling you about that problem?
They're saying that it's just as hard on them as it is on the pet owner, and a lot of this has to do with staffing. These workers, some of them are doing 10-hour days, 6 days a week, and it's a one-person doing a two-person type of job situation here. But the main thing is they want to know that they care for your dog, they care for your cat, they care for your animal, and they want to do everything they can to get you that help.
Absolutely. Let us know what comes out of that meeting as they try to look for some solution. Sydney, thanks a lot. Also tonight, a man arrested in connection with a deadly shooting last month in Aiken. The Aiken Department of Public Safety says 19-year-old Jaden Mitchell is charged with the murder of Amari Williams and attempted murder of Cecily Weatherford, and a juvenile as well. Amari was shot inside his car on Red Street back in May. His fiancée Cecily was in the passenger seat when a car drove up next to them and shot into the window. Amari suffered a gunshot wound to the head. Mitchell now being charged with 2 counts of attempted murder and 3 counts of possession of a weapon during a violent crime. He's in the Aiken County Jail without bond. Officials at Fort Jackson are investigating the death of a soldier who did not return from a land navigation training on Monday. The soldier, identified now as a drill sergeant candidate, Jamie Contreras, he was reported missing roughly 30 minutes after failing to return from that exercise, the first casualty on base this year.
We're all deeply saddened by this loss. We are providing support to both his family and his teammates, and we'll continue to do so.
And right now, they don't have a cause of death. Contreras was originally from Las Vegas, but stationed at Fort Liberty, North Carolina. He had just started his 8th training week for the Drill Sergeant Academy there at Fort Jackson. It's been a year now since 4-year-old Izzy Scott drowned during a private swim lesson in Burke County. His instructor was arrested and charged with involuntary manslaughter in January. In April, Governor Kemp signed Izzy's law, which regulates private swimming lessons. Izzy's family also created a foundation in his honor, educating parents on how to get their kids into licensed swim lessons. SNAP benefits help families get food on the table for more than 1.5 million Georgians. But now a handful of people are saying they've not received their benefits in a while. This week, several people waited outside the Department of Human Services in Atlanta, claiming they've been waiting for months to get their SNAP benefits. One woman says it's been nearly 2 months and she depends on SNAP to feed the family.
I'm a disabled grandparent trying to raise 2 children, 2 grandchildren, so the benefits are very important for us. Living on a fixed income, trying to make it, basically.
DHS says they're working as fast as possible to get applications and renewals processed. They say they're actively hiring to fill positions, but they're impacted by federal requirements as well. A handful of South Carolina lawmakers are still to come tonight. Trouble in the Southern Baptist Convention. 2 churches expelled for having women serving as pastors.
And as you're heading out the door this evening, we're getting a chance to dry things up, but more storms are going to be possible for your Thursday. We'll break down the forecast when we come back.
We know you don't watch all of the news.
We know you have your favorite parts, like the anchors.
Pretty sure it's for award-winning First Alert weather. And you know our sports coverage is a hole-in-one.
Maybe you like connecting the dots to get to the truth. Well, we do like to mix up your mornings.
Now you can get what you want on our YouTube channel.
Clips and segments from all of our local programs, uploaded just as soon as it happens.
So whatever part of our news you like, you can watch it anytime you want.
Subscribe for free today.
Those temperatures staying a little bit warmer. It's getting into the low 90s going through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But those storms do return by Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures slightly cooler, mid-80s.
Today, officials with the Southern Baptist Convention upheld a decision to expel 2 of its churches, including one of its largest, for having female pastors. As Janet Shamlian tells us, delegates also voted that women should not hold any leadership positions in the church.
The affirmative has it, and the motion carries.
The vote to ban female pastors in SBC churches praised like a Sunday sermon.
It puts us all on the same page about what a pastor is and who a pastor is. A biblically qualified man.
Members at the annual convention in New Orleans today overwhelmingly favored a constitutional amendment that requires a church, quote, employs only men as qualified pastors.
And Saddleback Church is not in friendly cooperation with the Southern Baptist Convention.
The SBC also refused to reinstate California megachurch Saddleback, expelled in February for ordaining women pastors. Founding pastor Rick Warren made a futile appeal to the almost 13,000 church representatives known as messengers.
I'm not asking you to agree with my church. I am asking you to act like a Southern Baptist.
5 churches with female pastors have been expelled from membership recently, including Fern Creek Baptist in Louisville, Kentucky. Pastor Linda Barnes Popham failed to get its expulsion overturned as well.
This is a sad day for Southern Baptists because they are losing gifted and talented and called women of God. As we continue to proclaim the gospel, why they want to get rid of folks like us makes no sense.
What does this say to the millions of women in the churches?
It says to those women, you are not valued.
The SBC was actually formed here in Augusta in 1845. It is the nation's largest Protestant denomination. Membership has dropped, though, about 9% over the last 3 years. Coming up here, a student at a high school in Louisiana is not who she said she is. We're going to have the story behind that mystery when News 12 at 11 continues. But first, as we head for a break, a live look at New York City tonight and your winning lottery numbers.
You're watching News 12 on your side.
It's cheap season in Waynesboro.
You're watching News 12 on your side.
It's cheap season in Waynesboro.
Shop more Jeeps in minutes than anywhere else.
New Jeep Compass, just $29.3. It's a short drive on Highway 25.
Shop GoodToGoWaynesboro.com to save time and money.
It's Ram season right now here in Waynesboro.
Big city selection with hometown prices.
Up to $7,500 off new Ram 1500s.
Payments to fit your budget.
GoodToGoWaynesboro.com.
Authorities say human body parts were stolen and then sold from a morgue at Harvard Medical School in Boston. A federal indictment accuses the morgue's manager, Cedric Lodge, of stealing portions of dissected cadavers and bringing them to his home in New Hampshire. Prosecutors say Lodge and his wife then sold those body parts. The indictment also identified an alleged buyer who's accused of reselling the remains to buyers in several states. All three are facing charges including conspiracy and interstate transport of stolen goods. The plot of 21 Jump Street comes to life, sort of. All three are facing charges including conspiracy and interstate transport of stolen goods. The plot of 21 Jump Street comes to life, sort of. A 28-year-old woman arrested along with her mom after she posed as a 17-year-old student at a high school in Louisiana. Police say the woman used a fake ID to trick the school into admitting her, which included a false passport and birth certificate. Martha Gutierrez Hernaro and her mom have both been charged with injuring public records. No word on why she wanted to be enrolled in the school or how long she was enrolled there. New details about how 4 children survived